Good morning, Jason.
Good morning to you, Kathy. How are you?
It is our favorite time of the week right now.
It is our favorite time of the week. However, though, something might take the place of this one day, Kathy, because one of my girls, is in track and field, and I love to watch her compete. So I'm going to get a chance to do that, and I can't wait to see that. It's not very often that I get to get off work in time to go see her, and I will. So
Then we'll have to
there we
change it
go.
to our favorite work time of the week.
No, no, no. Let's leave it the way it is right now. We'll see how
Okay.
it continues to grow on me. But yes, I am so happy to be here with you. I'm happy to again talk about transit and all the things wrapped around it, what you and I do and how
Mm-hmm.
we interact with our community. That's just such an important thing, right? Is to get
Mm-hmm.
out there and how we interact. And we're heading into those months. The weather's getting a little better, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
gives us
Well, we're
opportunity.
hoping. We're
Yeah,
hoping.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mother Nature keeps reminding us that she is fully in control, and it is not us or our desires that get to determine what's going on with the weather. But
Indeed.
oh well.
Yes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's a double rainbow out there or if it's bright sunshiny or if rain's coming down straight or sideways. Point is, we get a chance to discuss what we're going to talk about today. So, Kathy,
Mm-hmm.
outreach and events and all that stuff, we've talked about that before. People know about some of these things. Some people have even gone and visited us, because
Mm-hmm.
maybe they heard about this at some point in time. But what are we going to be talking about? Why is it important for us to talk about these, what, outreach? What does that mean?
So, Jason, I just have to gush a little bit because this week, again, I've done some outreach, and this
Nice.
week I got to do an outreach event in Tillamook County, which is the first time that I've been able to do a whole event in Tillamook County. I was invited to Consejo Hispano's vaccine clinic and more. And they
Mm,
really added the and more this time because
that's cool.
I would have to say I think there was a dozen, maybe more other agencies and organizations that were there this week at their event at the Tillamook County Fairgrounds. And it was really fun. It was really amazing. There were so many people that showed up. So they offer vaccines, they offer food boxes.
Whoa.
There was actual food served. There was a taco truck. There was a bouncy house. There was, all kinds of different services that were there and information that was available. And it was a fantastic event. So when you see them posting a vaccine clinic,
Yeah,
the and more part is really a big deal. And
that's pretty
I
cool,
got to
Kathy.
explain what I do to lots of different people. And so I had so many people from all of those different organizations coming over saying,
Sweet.
transportation options, what's that?
That's right.
And
That is
I
awesome.
love that question.
Yeah, what does that mean, right? I mean, seriously. But so I'm going to ask you what something else means first before we get into maybe a little bit of how you describe transportation options. But really, it's the outreach thing. What does that mean, Kathy? Or am I outreaching?
Outreach, yes,
What
no.
does that
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
mean?
it's
What am I
that,
wrong
but
with
in
that?
a not necessarily that literal sense, but
Oh,
it's the
okay.
literal sense where instead of sitting back in our offices waiting for people to come to us to ask us what we do,
Oh, I
we
get it.
go out into the community to reach out to people to give them information. And
There you go.
it's a great opportunity. And so I just love being out there with the people and talking to them and great opportunities.
So listen, I'm going to tell you about one of my experiences, and yet I know what that means, right? But our community probably doesn't understand that, and I'm so glad that you explained that to them. But I had my own opportunity. I do various. I'm definitely not out as much as you are, but I go out with individuals, to travel, train individuals, and to talk to them about how riding the bus or to take advantage of the methods that you help create through
Mm-hmm.
transportation options.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I got a chance to go to somewhere I don't go very often, or I'm not invited to very often, which is to adult foster homes. And it was really neat to be able to attend, just this, a couple of different, facilities, well, not even facilities, really just houses, that house, several, individuals there who are receiving help and services and so forth to just help them with life. And so one of those helping them with life scenarios was, hey, they can still transport, they can still get around. And at first I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go talk to some of these individuals who might not, be, I was thinking, might not be able to ride the bus. And that's a lot for me to think that, because I think everyone should be able to ride the bus. And of course, I get there and have some great conversations with people about transportation, but I also have some pretty tough conversations with individuals that quite frankly did not like transit at all. They thought it was just the worst thing they'd ever heard of. And, that it wasn't a contentious conversation, but it was fun nonetheless to speak to somebody that didn't just flat out love the idea, So, so I don't know, Kathy, with you, have you ever had those kind of, experiences? And maybe if you could kind of wrap, what your transportation options program could do in helping maybe older adults who live in foster homes, how could that help them too?
Sure. And I think that that's one of the things that I like best about doing outreach, because
Yeah,
everybody comes to the table with some preconceived ideas about what transit is or transportation options are.
right.
And I love talking to them about those ideas, and then sometimes why they came to those ideas and how maybe to move them on from that, and expand their opinions or their views or their perceptions. And so I, like I said, love the question, what is
Yeah,
transportation options and what do you do and what does all of this have to do with that?
exactly.
And by this I mean all of the things that I have on my table when I'm at a at an outreach event. And
Sure.
so transportation options are all of the means to get around from where you are to where you want to go. And that's a really big umbrella. And
Sure.
so for me, it's talking about getting people to use other means than driving in a car by themselves for
Sure.
whatever reason. Whether you got your license taken away, whether you don't have a license, whether you don't have a car, for whatever reason. But
Right.
whatever you choose, how to do it in a safe and practical way for you. And
Yep.
so sometimes that means adding lights to your bicycle, or
Mm,
wearing a reflective vest, or
yep.
having some lights around that you can clip on your jacket or your backpack. Or if you're a kid or an adult that rides a bike, that's a really important part.
Oh,
Kid
yeah.
or adult, because none of us have indestructible helmets
That's
built into
true.
our heads. We need to add them onto the top. And so
Absolutely.
I
That's
love
so
talking
awesome.
about those things.
Yeah, that is so awesome, because I mean, again, if you're going to try to encourage somebody to get out and use a transportation option, like a bicycle or something, you want to make sure that you give them not only the idea of using something, but you want them to do it safely, right? And that's
Exactly.
so. Let me ask you something about a transportation options. Have you ever heard of a one wheel before?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like an electric. It's an electric. It looks like electric skateboard with just one wheel in it.
Uh
Now,
huh.
come on, Kathy. I'm gonna challenge you on this one. How in the world can that be looked at as a transportation option? It doesn't make
I
any
will
sense to
tell
me.
you, I witness it actually.
Really?
Sometimes during the year, not in the last couple months have I seen it, but previous to that, I have somebody that lives in my neighborhood that uses that to commute to and from work.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty
And I
impressive.
just, it makes my jaw drop every time I see it, because they stand there and they just zip right along. And I don't know, I live up a hill, but the people out there may not realize
Yeah.
that I live up a hill. And I live up a hill, and this person just zips right up and down that hill, and it's amazing.
Well, it is, and see, when I thought of one wheel at first, the isolated wheel, I'm thinking unicycle, yeah, and a unicycle actually can be a form of transportation options, can it? Just, I
Sure.
mean, you're not going to see me on any
Ask the
one of those
Unipiper in
devices.
Portland.
Yeah, that's right, the Unipiper. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there you go. You got a transportation option. It's amazing how when you look at your world and all of the different varying options that can be utilized to just get around, it's pretty impressive. Right? Even to wheelchairs and stuff. I mean, we think transportation options, is wheelchair a transportation option? Well, yeah, it is, because I remember for one of the first ways that you described it was any way you can walk, roll, and then what else? Scoot, wasn't it?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that's a really cool descriptor there. So, one wheel, Kathy. I don't know if you and I probably should. In my mind, I'm thinking we should
Uh-uh.
probably get a one wheel and test it
Not
out.
me.
But I do like
Not
my
happening.
life. I like living and not breaking anything. So, um,
Exactly. I'm
we'll leave it to the
beyond
pros.
not coordinated enough to do that. So, But Jason, I
Yeah,
just want to really share one of the things that, I like about our program because we get to sometimes offer things that are completely unexpected that
right.
can really make somebody's day. And
Yeah,
so I want to tie this into anybody that's watching that thinks that they might or might not want us to come to their events, that I think that,
right.
this story might change their mind
Let's
to
do that.
get them to invite us. And so at this event, I had lots of people coming by and lots of kids and parents and everybody picking up, lights for their bicycles or to walk or to hang on their backpacks, things to keep them safe and reflective materials. I've got lots of stickers, things like that. And so
Yeah.
this mother and daughter came up to my table and they picked up some information, and I said I apologized because most of my things were geared more to a Spanish speaking population than English, and they were not Spanish speaking, and so I was missing a couple of my English materials that I didn't bring with me because of the focus of the event. But in talking to this mother and daughter, she was talking about how her daughter had just gotten a bicycle, and so I gave them some bike lights, and then I asked her if her daughter had a helmet for her bike. And she said, no, she can't ride her bike yet out in the street because the helmet is down my list on my items that I have budgeted for.
Sure.
And so that's a big deal. And so I
Yeah.
looked at the daughter and I said, so what's your favorite color out of blue, red, or black? And she said red. And I reached over into my little box and I handed her a helmet,
Nice.
which
Nice.
the daughter was super excited about. And the mom just looked at me like with her jaw dropped and said, I could cry right now. And so I just want people to know that a helmet and safety materials shouldn't be your barrier to
Right.
riding your bike or for your children to ride their bikes. If you live in our area, Clatsop, Columbia, or Tillamook counties, and that's your barrier, please reach out to me because we can take care of that.
That's really neat, Kathy, because that's like an option within an option, right?
Mm-hmm.
You spoke to somebody who presented to you that they have an option, which was a bicycle, right, to get
Mm-hmm.
around. But then they provided to you the challenge, right, which was, but we
Mm-hmm.
can't use that option because of this. And you came out and you said, well, let me help you solve that solution or that challenge right now. And you provided yet another option to them, which was a helmet to say, look, we want you to get going. We want you to get out there and go and be safe while doing it. So here you go. And I love the fact that your program and you yourself have taken such a great desire, a great movement into ensuring that cyclists have helmets. I'm near and dear to that, as you all know out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of commuting on bicycle, and your helmet, if you don't use a helmet, man, it's really hard to get everywhere you need to get, and especially commute safely. Please wear helmets out there. And Kathy is providing that option to you. So if you have questions out there about that, if that is a barrier, like Kathy said earlier, to riding a bicycle or a one wheel even, or other things, give us a
scooter
call.
or your
Or a
scooter.
scooter.
Same rules
Yeah,
apply to a scooter.
right. Give us a call so that at the very least we can get you in contact. If we can't help you maybe directly in some cases, I know that we have the heart, and especially Kathy has that desire to ensure that she helps you find that solution. So like she said, do not allow not having a helmet be a barrier. We'll help you out with that. That's a cool story, Kathy. And I can just imagine the feeling you had, the feeling that mother had, and the feeling that the daughter had, like, hey, we can do this now, and that's awesome. You just give them that leap board. They're like, we can do it. Yeah, let's go. And so I hope she's out there riding her bicycle right now.
Hopefully she's in school, Jason. School.
That's true.
It's still school time.
Whoops. Okay. So after she's out of
weekend.
school, unless she rode her bicycle to school, Kathy.
Well, it could be that she rode her bicycle to school
exactly.
now. Yes, it's true.
And wearing the helmet into class might not be the best thing, but that's a good way, though.
Hey, why not?
You do that. Yeah, you could share the message of being safe out there while riding your bicycle. So,
well, it's one of those things. Sometimes kids get in those phases where they want to wear that one thing and they want to wear it all the time. I know my brother went through a phase like that. If he's watching this, or if my mom's watching this, they're hopefully going to chuckle about this story. But my brother went through a phase where he wore his yellow rubber boots all the time and everywhere.
Oh, wow.
There was no convincing him that
that's cool.
There was another choice. That was the choice and the only choice for a while. And so I know that bicycle helmets are capes or, superhero outfits, sometimes that
Yeah.
happens. Kids
Mhm.
decide they're going to wear them everywhere and all the time. And that's
Yep.
okay.
So I guess just to kind of wrap this up, Kathy, then I'll throw it back to you for the final bow here is outreach events, opportunities for us to get out and to interact with the community. And I'd like to say that it's a very strong chance that that daughter and that mother would not have been able to solve their temporary problem there and having a helmet if you had not been at that event. So that is one of the major reasons why we do these things and get out there and interact with our community, is because you can have those conversations and you can realize someone really needs my help right now. And I
Mhm.
have the solution and the capability to be able to do that. Let's do it. Let's help. And so
Yes.
outreach, Kathy.
Right. Exactly. Outreach is such an important part of our job. It's
Yep.
one of the most rewarding parts, in my opinion, to me. And I just have to say that, I love that I get to help kids be safer out there, riding their
Right.
bikes or walking around or being out there in the world, teaching them things that they may not have known before. But the same thing is also true for adults, because
Indeed.
we all come from different places. We all come, have different experiences, but we have one thing in common. Whatever we're doing, we need to do it safely.
That's
And,
right.
you know, I'm happy to help with that. And so if you're an adult and you need a bike helmet, I can help with that too.
All right.
So,
Well, this has been a great show, Kathy. I really enjoy talking about these events that we get to go out and do, the things that you get to do. The stories are always so wonderful and stuff. Ultimately, we're helping people. But here we are at the end of our show, and I want to remind everybody out there, you can communicate with us through this video. You can comment if you'd like, right down below, and you can comment there, and we will read those comments. And if there are challenges that you want to present to us, we'll do everything that we can to help you solve those challenges. So we're about moving forward. We're about making things a little better for you out there in the transit world as you commute back and forth. Don't forget to call us too if you need some immediate help. We're here for you too as well. Don't forget to do that as well. So, Kathy, thank you very much, and I will let you take us out. Have fun.
thanks, Jason. And you that was pretty much all that needs to be said. So I'm just gonna say, everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Make sure you're prepared if you're crossing over the passes,
That's
because
true.
we're expecting, guess what? Some weather again.
Yeah.
So, let's all be safe out there. And if you
Yep.
want, and if you'd like us to help or our attendance at an event,
Yep.
drop us a note, give us a call. We're here for you. And have a great
Absolutely.
weekend, everybody.